Hello students, today I am going to start class 10th chemistry and the name of the chapter is acids, bases and salts. In the last class we discussed about the salts and pH. In this class today I am going to discuss the next concept of your chapter, that is the compounds or salts. So as we know that many salts found to be present in rocks and minerals which may be regarded as natural sources. For example, washing soda, marbles, these are some of the examples for soda. Seawater is the major source of these salts like sodium chloride, potassium chloride and magnesium sulfides are some of the examples for salts. So let us discuss about these salts, how we are going to prepare these kind of these salts and what are the uses of the salts. So first one is the preparation and properties as well as uses of the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is the one of the most important salt. So just see the what are the properties of sodium chloride and what are the uses of sodium chloride. First salt is sodium chloride. The sodium chloride salt is also called as a common salt. Sodium chloride or common salt. One more name for sodium chloride is common salt or table salt. Sodium chloride, also called as common salt or table salt, is the most essential part of our diet. Chemically, it is formed by the reaction between the solution of the sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid, NaOH and HCl. Seawater is the major source of sodium chloride, where it is present in the dissolved form along with other soluble salts such as chlorides and sulfides of the calcium and magnesium. It is separated by some suitable methods. Deposits of the salts are found in different forms of the world and known as rock salts. When the salt is pure, it is obviously in white crystalline solid form. The structure of the salt is white crystalline solid. When the impurities is added with these kind of the salts, the color will be changes into brown due to the addition of the impurities. For these common salts, some part of the iodized or some part of the iodine is mixed purposely to prevent the occurrence of the diseases known as a goiter. As we already know that the goiter disease is caused by which is caused by lower consumption of the iodized salts. Okay, so let's see the some of the introduction is given here. Introduction part of the sodium chloride is given. Just see the introduction part. Common salt is a mineral substance composed primarily of sodium chloride, a chemical compound belonging to the larger class of ionic salts. Salt is its natural form as a crystalline minerals is known as rock salt. So basically NaCl which is available in the rocks forms. Salt is present in the vast quantities in sea where it is the main mineral constituent. Salt is essential for animal life and saltness is the one of the basic human tastes. So this is the just basic part of the NaCl, that is nothing but a sodium chloride. Now see the information about the common salt, that is NaCl or table salt. So common salt or NaCl. So NaCl, it have one more name, that is table salt. So what is that one more name? Table salt, right? So sodium chloride is known as common salt. Another name for the sodium chloride is common salt or table salt. Common salt is the important component of our food. Common salt, it's one of the most important component of our foods. So how we are going to prepare this common salt? As we already discussed in the previous slide, this common salt is prepared with the help of the sodium hydroxide and HCl. Sodium hydroxide and HCl. See the preparation of the NaCl. Preparation of NaCl. Salt is produced on large scales by evaporation of seawater or salt water. That means salt water, what we call that salt water? Brine. Salt water from salt takes and brine wells. It is also exist in the form of rocks and called as a rock salt. The raw salt, before the purification of the salt is called as a raw salt. It consisting some of the impurities also. So by taking two compounds, HCl, hydrochloric acid, and NaOH, sodium hydroxide. HCl is the acid and NaOH is the base. By taking these two compounds, we can easily form a salt, that is NaCl, sodium chloride. Along with the one more product we will getting here, that is water. Water is the one of the most important product we are obtaining from this reaction. So this is the preparation of the salt, that is NaCl. So NaCl is obtained by the two major compounds. When they react, it will form a NaCl. So what are the two major compounds? First one is HCl and second one is NaOH. Okay, some physical datas are there to related to the NaCl. Some of the physical datas. The melting point of the sodium chloride, NaCl is 801 degrees Celsius. It have very high melting point, that is 801 degrees Celsius, and the boiling point of the sodium chloride is 1439 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the compound will be get decomposes, and the solubility capacity of the NaCl is in 1 liter water. In 1 liter of water, we can easily dissolve approximately nearly 3.5 kg, 3.5 kg of the salt. The 3.5 kg of salt easily soluble in 1 liter of water. That's why the water solubility of the NaCl, sodium chloride, is 3570 grams per liter of water. So this is the some of the physical characteristics of the sodium chloride. Let's see the next one, properties of sodium chloride. Properties of sodium chloride. First property is it is a neutral salt, and second one is the pH value of sodium chloride is about 7. It is white crystalline solid, as we already discussed in the previous slide. The basic form of the NaCl is white crystalline. By adding some impurities, the color will be get changed from white to brownish color. And next one, it is radially soluble in water and other polar solvents. So polar solvent means The polar solvents are also one kind of the solvents which can easily dissolve the solute substances. So polar solvents are similar to water. They can easily soluble the solvent parts or solute parts. And next one, it is stable in solid state. It is stable in solid states. So these are the some of the properties of sodium chloride. See the next one, uses of sodium chloride. The first one is it is used in the cleaning of metals. In metal cleaners it is used as a one of the most important component. Second one, to bleach papers. Third one, used to manufacture glasses, soaps, papers, and water softeners. Water softeners. In all these manufacture we are going to use NaCl, sodium chloride. Next one, the same compound we are using in our day-to-day life, the daily uses of the sodium chloride, used directly for snow and ice control, as a food preservative and flavoring agent, as a reagent for water softening, as a mineral in animal diets. So these are the some of the uses of the sodium chloride. Some more uses are given here. See one by one. It is used widely in the food industry for flavoring and preservating agent. And second one, it is used in the production of many important chemicals like including sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, baking soda, hydrochloric acid. So with the help of NaCl we are going to prepare all these compounds. Some of these compounds we are going to prepare with the help of the NaCl. Next one, important use is de-icing of roads and sidewalks in cold and snowy regions. And next one is the oil refineries. In the purification of the oils also, or in the purification of the petroleum products also, we are going to use the same compound. Textile industries, paper and pulp industry, fire retardants, rubber industries, and in road constructions also we are using NaCl. So these are the some of the uses of sodium chloride. Let's see the next one. Next compound is caustic soda. The molecular formula of the caustic soda is NaOH, sodium hydroxide, or caustic soda. So caustic soda is prepared commercially by the electrolysis of strong solution of the sodium chloride. Already discussed in the previous slide. With the help of the sodium chloride we can prepare so many type of the compounds. One of the major compound is NaOH. So caustic soda is prepared commercially by electrolysis of the strong solution of sodium chloride, that is NaCl, also called as brine. Okay, let's see the information related to caustic soda or sodium hydroxide. First one, sodium hydroxide. The molecular formula of the sodium hydroxide is NaOH. Sodium hydroxide is one of the most common inorganic bases or alkalis. It is also called caustic soda or lye. It is also called as a caustic soda or lye, right? So how we are going to prepare the sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is industrially produced using the electrolysis. So that electrolysis process we call it as a chloro-alkali process, chloralkali process. Okay, see here, NaCl, when sodium chloride is added in water, it forms sodium hydroxide along with the chlorine and hydrogen gas. It means sodium hydroxide is obtained as 50% of solution in water and then dried to give give solid sodium hydroxide flakes or pellets. So see the process of the preparation of the sodium hydroxide. Here some more information is there about the sodium hydroxide. It is an odorless white crystalline solid. It is purely odorless. Odorless means we cannot feel any kind of the smell here. And next one is the color of the sodium hydroxide is purely white, and the structure of the sodium hydroxide is crystalline. It is widely available as pellets, flakes and granules. Soluble in polar solvents such as water, ethanol and methanol, and insoluble in organic solvents. So sodium hydroxide is easily soluble in water, ethanol and methanol, but it is insoluble in organic solvents. Sodium hydroxide, when it is combined with HCl, sodium hydroxide when it is combined with HCl, it forms a NaCl, that is sodium chloride. We already discussed this one in the previous slide. Sodium chloride is obtained by the combination of the two major compounds, that is sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. By adding these two, we will get a sodium chloride and water as a two major compounds. It is very hygroscopic. Hygroscopic means absorption of water from air. It will catches the moisture content which is present in the air. So it can easily catches the moisture content which is present in the air and also absorb carbon dioxide from air. So sodium hydroxide is easily absorb the water content or moisture content from water, and it also absorbs the carbon dioxide. So these are the some of the properties of sodium hydroxide. Next one, sodium hydroxide is commonly known as, what is the one more name for sodium hydroxide? Caustic soda. Chemical formula of caustic soda is NaOH or sodium hydroxide. Its chemical formula is NaOH. Next one, sodium hydroxide is very basic chemical which is used in manufacture of other chemicals. It is also with the help of the sodium hydroxide we can form an infinite number of compounds. It is used in many industries, hence it produces as a large scale. The same sodium hydroxide we are using in different kind of the industries. That's why we need to prepare the sodium hydroxide in the larger scale. Okay, next one, production of the sodium hydroxide. Production of sodium hydroxide. The raw materials for the production of sodium hydroxide is sodium chloride. With the help of the sodium hydroxide we are preparing sodium chloride. With the help of the sodium chloride we can prepare sodium hydroxide. Next one, sodium hydroxide is produced by electrolysis of concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, which is called brine. So the process we are using specially in the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. See here the continued part of the previous slide, this one. When electricity is passed through the concentrated solution of sodium chloride, called brine. It decomposes to form sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. So in the process of brine, what are the three major components, or what are the three major compounds we are getting? So the three major compounds are sodium hydroxide, chlorine gas and hydrogen gas. By the electrolysis of sodium chloride, we can easily obtain the three products. First one is sodium hydroxide, second one is chlorine and third one is water. By the process of electrolysis, this electrolysis process is called as a brine process. See here in this figure, you are observing this whole solution is a aqueous solution. In that aqueous solution, we need to add sodium chloride. That sodium chloride is decomposes and chlorine is absorbed towards the anode and hydrogen gas is absorbed towards the cathode. Okay, so this is the electrolysis process. During the electrolysis, chlorine gas is produced at anode, that is positive plate of the electrolysis. At the positive plate of the electrolysis, it will absorb the chlorine gases, and hydrogen gas is produced at cathode, that is negative plate of the electrolysis. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode plate. Here you are observing, this is the cathode plate. So sodium chloride or sodium hydroxide, which is formed nearer to the cathode plate, NaOH, which is formed near to the cathode plate. Okay, next one, all the product obtained during the electrolysis of sodium chloride solution, chlorine, sodium hydroxide, hydrogen are collected and stored separately. The three major components we are getting from the electrolysis of the sodium chloride. The three major compounds are sodium hydroxide, NaOH, hydrogen and chlorine. So these are the three major components we are obtaining from the electrolysis of sodium chloride. That process we call it as a brine process or chlor-alkali process. The process of electrolysis of sodium chloride solution is called chlor-alkali process. Because why you can call this process as a chlor-alkali process? Because the products formed, chlor for chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a base, NaOH. It is an example for base. Along with we are getting chlorine. That's why the name of the process is chlor-alkali process. The three main products which is obtained during electrolysis is, first one sodium hydroxide, second one chlorine and third one is hydrogen gas. All the products which is obtained is very useful. All these three products are useful. Now see the uses of sodium hydroxide. What are the uses of sodium hydroxide or caustic soda? Sodium hydroxide or caustic soda is used in the manufacturing of soaps, detergents, papers, ryans means artificial silks, and a large number of chemicals. With the help of this caustic soda, we can prepare large number of the chemicals. Next one, It is used in the cotton industries for making unshrinkable cotton fabrics. And third one, in the refining of petroleum and also vegetable oils, in the purification of petroleum product and in the vegetable oils, purification of the vegetables oils, also we are using caustic soda. Next one, in the preparation of soda lime we are using the caustic soda. Next one, it is used as a cleaning agent for machines and metal sheets. And the most important thing is it is used as a laboratory agent. Yes, some of the uses are given here. First one, it is one of the most widely used base in industries. Its main uses are the in the paper industry, petroleum industry, textile industry, in the manufacturing of soaps and detergent. It is used in the bare process of aluminium production, industrial cleanings, and for pH regulations. So these are the some of the uses of sodium hydroxide. The next compound is baking soda. Baking soda. The chemical formula of the baking soda is NaHCO3. NaHCO3. Baking soda, as the name suggests, is that major constituent of the baking powder which is obtained from the baking powder. Chemically, it is sodium hydrogen carbonate. This is sodium, right? Next one, hydrogen. CO3 means carbonate. The chemical name or compound name of the baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate, or simply it is called as sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate. Let's see the information of baking soda. The chemical name of the baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. The chemical name of the baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. The molecular formula of the compound is NaHCO3. Baking soda is added for faster cooking of food such as grams. Next one, production of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is produced on large scales by reacting a cold concentrated solution of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is also called as brine. With the help of the brine process, we can form a sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. So the major product is sodium chloride. With the help of the sodium chloride, we can easily obtain the sodium bicarbonate with ammonia and carbon dioxide. See here, the reaction is given. The first compound is sodium chloride. When it is combined with the ammonia along with water and carbon dioxide, it forms sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate along with the ammonium chloride. It means we are obtaining sodium hydrogen carbonate by the compound of sodium Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. When it is combined with carbon dioxide along with the water, we get a product that is 2NaHCO3. So it is in the form of precipitate. So this is the formation or production of the baking soda. In the laboratory, baking soda can be prepared by passing excess of carbon dioxide gas through the saturated solution of sodium carbonate. As a result, sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed, and that sodium hydrogen carbonate is dissolved in water. It is completely soluble. It gets converted as a precipitate. That precipitate is separated and washed and dried without heating. On commercial scales, sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed as a intermediate product in the carbonation towers when sodium carbonate or washing soda is prepared by Scoville methods. So one of the most important method, this is Scoville method. With the help of this method also we can prepare the baking sodas. Let's see the some of the information regarding the same compound. It consists of white crystals which are springly soluble in water. It is mild and non-corrosive base. Action of heat. How the heat will be affected on sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. When sodium bicarbonate is heated, it decomposes and it will be produce three kind of the major compounds, that is sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. So these are the three important components we are obtaining from the heating of sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. In that Na2CO3 is called as a baking powder. This reaction takes place during cooking of food since it gives carbon dioxide on heating. It is used as a constituent of baking powder. So this sodium carbonate, it means baking powder, is used in the preparation of breads and cakes. The bubbles of the gas that are escaping leaving behind the pores, which increases the size of the cakes or breads and makes into fluffy. The main compound present in the baking soda, that is tartaric acid, which present in the baking powder, it neutralizes the sodium carbonate. In case it is not done, then the cake will be taste bitter. So the same sodium carbonate is used in the preparation of cakes and breads. That sodium carbonates were obtaining from the sodium bicarbonates. By the heating of sodium bicarbonates, we can get a sodium carbonates. See the next one, uses of sodium hydrogen carbonates or sodium bicarbonate. First one is, it is used as a antacid in medicines to remove acidity of stomach. Second one, baking soda NaHCO3 is used in the making of baking powders, used in the making of cakes and breads. With the help of the baking soda, we can obtain baking powders. That baking powders we are using in the manufacture or in the making of cakes and breads. Next one is baking powder. Baking powder. Baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and mild edible acids. So it is also one of the product of baking powder is a mixture of baking soda and mild edible acids. Edible means eatable acids. When baking powder is mixed with water present in dough for baking breads and cakes, sodium hydrogen carbonate react with the acid to evolve carbon dioxide. So here reaction is given when sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate is react with the hydrogen, it forms a sodium, carbon dioxide and water. It releases the sodium, carbon dioxide and water. The carbon dioxide gas produced get trapped into wet drops and bubbled out, slowly making the cake or bread to rise and become soft and spongy. If baking powder is not added in the preparation of cakes or breads, then the cake or bread obtained will be hard and quite small in size. That's why we are using baking powder. The major use of the baking powder is it is used in the making of cakes and breads. So these are the two examples. First one is bread and second one is cakes. In the preparation of these two we are using baking powders. Now what is the differences between baking soda and baking powder? Baking soda is a single compound. Baking soda is a single compound, sodium hydrogen carbonate. But baking powder is a mixture of sodium hydrogen carbonate along with edible acids. So it's a purely single compound. Baking soda is a purely single compound, but baking powder is a mixture of two compounds like sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate along with the edible acids. So this is the most important difference between baking powder and baking soda. Next one, sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in fire extinguishers. In the fire extinguishers we are using sodium bicarbonates or sodium hydrogen carbonates. Now the uses of sodium bicarbonate. It is commonly used as a antacid in baking powder, as odor absorber and drying agent, and in toothpaste also we are using sodium bicarbonate. It is also used as a fire retardant in fireworks and mild disinfecting, pest control, pH balancing and paint removal. Next one, it is used in the cleaning of metals. It is one of the most important reagent. That reagent we are going to use to cleaning the metal surfaces. Next one, baking powder. Baking powder, sodium hydrogen carbonate is a weakly basic inorganic compound commonly called as sodium bicarbonate or baking soda. So how we are going to prepare the baking powder? Sodium hydrogen carbonate is also prepared on the large scales by the Solvay process. See the Solvay process. In this process we are going to add sodium chloride, ammonia, carbon dioxide along with the water. By the addition of all these four components we will get sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking powder along with the ammonium chloride. When sodium carbonate is combined with the carbon dioxide and water, what we will get? We get the same compound, that is sodium bicarbonate. Now, what are the properties of sodium bicarbonate? It is odorless and white crystalline solid. It is highly soluble in water. When we dissolve sodium bicarbonate in water, it is highly soluble. Some more properties of sodium carbonate is given here. It is stable but hygroscopic solid. Hygroscopic solid means absorb the water from air. Readily dissolve in water. It means all the sodium carbonates are easily soluble in water. It decomposes on heating to emit toxic fumes of disodium oxides. Disodium oxide means Na2O. When it decomposes with the help of heating, it will be emits the toxic fumes like disodium oxides. So what are the uses of sodium carbonate? See here, the first use is, the main use of the sodium carbonate are as water softener, food processing aid, and it is also used as a pH moderator or modifier, swimming pools, chemicals and electrolytes. It is used in the swimming pool chemicals. We are using some kind of the chemicals in swimming pools, so in that one of the compound is sodium carbonates. Sodium carbonate is used in the swimming pools and it is also used in electrolytes. It is also used in the manufacture of glass, paper, soaps and detergent and many other useful chemicals. The next compound is plaster of Paris and bleaching powder. Plaster of Paris and bleaching powder. See the plaster of Paris, POP. So plaster of Paris is obtaining by strong heating of the gypsum. By heating strong around 373 Kelvin, the gypsum will be converted into POP, that is plaster of Paris. The chemical compound of plaster of Paris is CaSO4. CaSO4 1/2, it means half of water. Half of water. Plaster of Paris is calcium sulfate, hemihydrates. It is called plaster of Paris because it is obtained from gypsum, which is mainly found in Paris. The main source of the gypsum is Paris. So see the process or preparation of the plaster of Paris. So gypsum means calcium sulfate hemihydrate. When we are heating gypsum, the molecular formula of the gypsum, this is most important formula. The molecular formula of gypsum is CaSO4 2H2O. CaSO4 2H2O. When we are heating gypsum carefully at the temperature of 373 Kelvin, it will converted as plaster of Paris, and the molecular formula of or chemical formula of plaster of Paris is CaSO4 1 by 2 or half of water along with the 3 by 2 3 by 2 of water. So these two formulas are very important. These two chemical formulas are very important. First one is plaster of Paris and second one is gypsum. That plaster of Paris, POP, which is obtained by the heating of gypsum. The formula of the gypsum is CaSO4, calcium sulfate, along with the twice molecules of water. When gypsum is strongly heated, it changes into plaster of Paris. When the same plaster of Paris is hydrated, it means when it dissolves in water, it will be give back into the gypsum. So see the properties of POP. It is a white powder. When it is mixed with the water, crystals of gypsum are produced and set into hard mass. The next property is dead burnt plaster. When plaster of Paris is heated at 473 Kelvin, it forms anhydrous calcium sulfate. Anhydrous calcium sulfate means which do not have any water contents. It has no setting properly. So see here how you can obtaining the calcium sulfate and water by gypsum. When gypsum is decomposes, CaSO4 and twice of water, when it decomposes, it will form a calcium sulfate along with the water. Now, what are the uses of POP? POP is used in the making of toys, ceramics, and also it is used in the covering of the walls and roofs. For the making of designs on them, it is also used as a major component. In surgical bandages for setting fractured bones, we are using POPs. In the laboratories for the making of airtight apparatus by sealing the gaps, also we are using POPs. And next one is in the making of fire roofings. Fire roofings also we are using the same type of the component, that is POP. See here some of the uses are given. The first one is plastering fractured or dislocated bones. Second one, making toys and decorative materials. And third one, it is used in the making of blackboard chalks. Fourth one, making smooth surfaces and ornate designs on walls and ceilings. Next one, it is used in the dentistries. And sixth use is it is used in the making of cast for statues, toys, and surgical instruments. So these are the some of the uses of POP. And the next one is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is one of the most useful agent, particularly in the industries of textiles and papers. The chemical formula of the bleaching powder is CaOCl2. CaOCl2. It has been given different chemical names such as calcium oxychloride. So first one is Ca, it means calcium, oxygen is there means oxy, and the last element is chloride or chlorine. That's why the complete name of the bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride or calcium hypochlorite or chloride of lime. So these are the some of the names of bleaching powder. Now see the bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is also called as chloride of lime or calcium oxychloride. It is a solid and yellowish white in color. Bleaching powder can be easily identified by strong smell of chlorine. Chlorine is the major component here, that's why it produces the chlorine smell. When chlorine hydroxide, when calcium hydroxide reacts with the chlorine, it gives calcium oxychloride, that is bleaching powder, and water is formed. The one more important compound is water. See here the compound, the reaction or the preparation of the bleaching powder, when calcium hydroxide is treated with the chlorine, it forms a calcium oxychloride along with the water. So this is the preparation of bleaching powder. The raw materials for the manufacture of bleaching powders are skeleton, lime and chlorine. Both are obtained from the electrolysis of brain. Bleaching powder, the chemically it is called as a calcium oxychloride. So this is the some of the information related to the bleaching powder. So one more important name for the bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. It is also called as chloride of lime. It manufactured by Hassan Clever's plant or Bachmann plants by the reaction of dry lakes lime with a chlorine gas. We already discussed in the previous slide. When calcium hydroxide is react with the chlorine, it forms a calcium oxychloride along with the water. So see the properties of the bleaching powder. What are the properties it exists? First one is it is a pale yellow powder. Second one, it has strong smell of chlorine. Third one, it is soluble in water, but clear soluble is never formed due to the presence of impurities. Some of the impurities is present in the bleaching powder, that's why it will not be completely soluble in water. It loses chlorine by the action of carbon dioxide. So what are the uses of the bleaching powder? It is used for, so the first use of the bleaching powder is it is used for the bleaching cottons. Second one, it is used in the making of linen in textile industry, for bleaching washed cloths in laundries. And second one, it is used oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. Third one, it is used disinfecting drinking water to make water free from microorganisms. And the fourth use of the bleaching powder is it is used for the manufacture of chloroforms. And the last one is it makes wool unshrinkable. So these are the some of the uses of bleaching powder. Along with the same, bleaching powder is used in the laboratory reagent, and also it is used in the manufacturing of the cotton textiles and wool plumps, in the manufacturing of sterilization of the drinking of water. Okay, so these are the some of the important uses of bleaching powder. So this is the last part of your chapter. In the next class, we will discuss one more chapter. Till then, be happy. Thank you.